A friend of mine brought this article to my attention. For those of you that have been following the channel, you may know I'm a Tuskegee graduate. And so recently, I didn't even know this, last year, there was a shooting during Tuskegee's homecoming, and one person apparently was killed. We'll take a listen to that article here.
Shooting happened Sunday in the early morning hours, injuring 16 and killing 1. The family of 18-year-old Latavion Johnson talked to our Julia Avent. She begins our breaking news coverage tonight.
Schuberger has got shot and he's laying here on the ground, unresponsive.
Life taken too soon. An 18-year-old with a future planned, ready to start a new job with the state alongside his father. Latavion Johnson grew up right here in Troy, graduate from Charles Henderson High School. His friends and family say a very lively soul.
He was a loving person. I like to pick at him in the leg he had.
The family at a loss for words after his sudden death in a shooting at Tuskegee University, and the death of Latavion's sister, who died in the last year, leaving behind a son. Family members say Latavion had been helping take care of his nephew.
So being here again, seeing them mourn, it hurts me.
But what the family does know is they won't stop until justice is served and the guns are put down.
Throughout this state of Alabama, they got to do something. They got to definitely do something. Because if it don't, we all gonna fade away.
If I could just touch one person hard and stop the gun violence, it'll be okay. It really hurts. It really hurts. You missing your child all because somebody want to shoot.
In Pike County, I'm Julia Avent, WSFA.
And so that was the young man that was killed at Tuskegee University there. A young man, it must have been a freshman, considering I think they say he was 18 years old. And so here is actual video of the shooting. And you'll probably be surprised to see this kind of a shooting on a college campus here, but nevertheless. And again, this is during homecoming last year.
Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot! Oh!
And one of these people clearly that was hit was the young man, Latavion Johnson here. And so the obvious outcome of that shooting will be a lawsuit. And so now you'll see that Tuskegee University, my alma mater, as they say, is being sued here.
Developing news in Tuskegee. The parents of a minor killed in the mass shooting on campus has filed a lawsuit. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Sherry Falk.
I'm Guy Rawlings. Latavion Johnson's parents hoping to hold authorities accountable for the incident that took their son away from them. WVTM 13's Jarvis Robertson joins us with more on this lawsuit. What are they asking courts to decide, Jarvis?
Well, Guy, the wrongful death lawsuit was filed at 1:15 this afternoon. It's demanding judgment against the defendants for an amount that a jury deems full and fair based on the Alabama Wrongful Death Act for minors. Now, the following parties are listed as defendants in the lawsuit. First up is Tuskegee University, International Protection Investigation Agency, LLC, Reginald Brown, who owns IPIA, Jones Lang LaSalle Americas Inc., that is, also Jaquez Myrick, who was charged with possession of a machine gun, and Terrence Calloway, the former university police chief, who was relieved of his duties after the mass shooting. Now, remember that mass shooting, it happened in the overnight hours of Sunday, November 10th. Latavion Johnson was killed and 16 others injured. Tuskegee University had just celebrated its 100th homecoming when they played Miles College that weekend. Now, police arrested Jaquez Myrick. While leaving the scene, they say he had a weapon with a machine gun conversion device. Now, this lawsuit states, quote, the actions of defendant Myrick discharging a firearm struck the plaintiff's descendant, Latavion Jason Johnson, subsequently resulting in his death. Now, Myrick has not been charged with Johnson's death. In addition to the wrongful death lawsuit, it alleges negligence and reckless wantonness. Now, the 20-page suit says the university failed to keep, maintain, and/or secure its premises so as not to injure residents, occupants, visitors, or guests, and consciously and deliberately allowing open access to the campus of Tuskegee University or persons who did or might possess firearms and ammunition. Although the lawsuit lists 6 defendants, it does read that the plaintiff is in the process of initiating discovery, meaning more people could be named in the suit. Guy?
In response to the shooting,
Here's a witness
Tuskegee's
to
president
that shooting.
says a new head of security is already on the job, although he did not give any detail.
We also learned today Tuskegee is no longer an open campus. Students, faculty, and staff will be required from now on to show ID. Rosanna Smith was at today's news conference, which many of you watched on WSFA 12 News live this afternoon. Rosanna, tell us more about what we learned.
Mark, as you can imagine, this was a very traumatic event for those who were on campus when the shooting happened. And today we learned more from the university as they say they are committed to keeping the campus safe. Alabama State University student Morgan Tay says she enjoyed Tuskegee University's homecoming celebration like she has in the past.
It's always a family vibe. It's always, you know, that you're going to leave Tuskegee knowing that you had a good time.
Tay says she is still in shock after witnessing a shooting on campus Sunday morning. She still has a scrape on her knee where she tried to escape the chaos.
When I had to tell everybody just duck because it would not stop. There was not really a real break in the gunfire.
She says this traumatic experience is something she will never forget.
Knowing some of the people who are injured, it's like that could have been me, that could have been my mother, that could have been my friend.
Tuskegee University is no longer an open campus.
Dr. Mark Brown, president of Tuskegee University, says several changes have been put in place to secure campus.
Effective immediately, we require IDs for everyone to be displayed to enter campus and worn at all times while on campus, like the one that you see me wearing today.
Brown says the security chief was relieved of duty. A new security leader is already in place.
Our new campus security chief and ultimately his team will complete a full review, including all implementations of new security procedures.
Now, Brown did let us know that the event where the shooting took place was not approved or sanctioned by the university. Now, during that press conference today, the university refused to answer any of our questions. Mark?
We should also point out where the shooting happened. That unsanctioned event was also a gathering that was happening in the very late hours, in fact, early morning hours of Sunday. Classes have since been canceled at Tuskegee University through tomorrow. The president says students in need have access to.
And so what you're hearing here is that the campus has had to wall itself off from the locals as well as any new people coming down, say for homecoming visitors and things like that. They won't have the ID badges. And so the homecoming has been affected from an alumni perspective. And so what you see here is one of the guys. I actually went to college with this guy, so I know him. And he's complaining. His name is Kenneth Fitz, and he's one of the alumni complaining about the closed access, and they won't have access to the campus. And homecoming is now not meant for the alumni, but for the students. So you'll see here some of the posts on his Facebook. This is a statue of the veil of ignorance. He's replaced it with some woman. I'm not sure who the woman is, but here's another post where he's talking about the homecoming money. The university said they were in the red because of the homecoming activities, but he's questioning that. But now the university is facing a lawsuit, so whatever they made in past homecomings and the revenue that was generated, a lot of that will now go to pay out this family for the guy who was killed there. And so here's, again, Kenneth Fitz, an alumni, talking about his support for the college and things like that. But what he will not mention is the shooting, and that is what's very interesting. This is a proud alum. I know this guy. He's from Montgomery, Alabama. And you'll notice nowhere on his timeline here is he mentioning the shooting or the reasons why Tuskegee is now closing the campus there. So again, this is another very, very good example here of an educated black man. An educated black man, he should be able to discern why Tuskegee University has to close its campus. It's not because they're walling itself off from alumni per se. They are protecting themselves from liability. Hell, their insurance company may have told them, hey, to maintain coverage here, you're going to have to implement some more stringent security measures, and that possibly may include preventing just strangers, foreigners, to your campus, being allowed just free access there. And so there, and again, here's an educated black populace. They create a university, and what happens is they end up shooting someone, and the university is ultimately going to suffer. Now, what's interesting about this is, to kind of draw it on home, and the guy was talking about guns. What's interesting is that Super Soaker creator, the guy that actually created the Super Soaker, I remember being there at Tuskegee. That's correct. His name is Lonnie Johnson. The inventor of the Super Soaker is a graduate of Tuskegee University. That is correct there. You see that on the screen. And so here we've gone, in a matter of about 40 years, we've gone from the creators of Super Soakers to students shooting people with real guns and soaking them very well with real guns on the campus of Tuskegee. So from the innovation of the Super Soaker to young black scholars shooting each other on the campus. And we have the parents and everyone else scrambling to make heads or tails of this. And the only real response is, well, we'll just close off the campus. And again, very well could work, but there's never a recognition of what the real problem is. Once again, thank you for joining. Hit the like button. I am John Galt, and some describe me as the most racist man on the internet, a label that I embrace. Again, thank you for joining. Hit the like button.
He's the worst kind of racist. He's worse than any white racist I've ever met.